Tobela, I've got my shrine. So I can show you here. This is where I communicate with my ancestors. There, if you can see that. Anyway, so how did I set this up? How did I get to do it like that? My ancestors, they've never asked me to do that. To put the candles, to use the incenses, to put water when I communicate with them. In my practice room, in my sage room, they've never asked me to do that. Before I set this room to make it what it is now, I'll show you after. I'll show you how it looks like. The only thing they've ever shown to me was the color of the wall. They showed it to me in the dream that they would prefer green and yellow for my practice room, where I'm going to be communicating with them, where I'm going to be bringing people in this room. That is the only thing they've ever asked of me. Okay? So I'm answering this question. Can you communicate with them anywhere or everywhere? For me, I can communicate with my ancestors anywhere in the house. It doesn't matter. I can communicate. Most of the time, I communicate with them in my bedroom or just anywhere in the house. Because I believe it's just about me, what I intend to do. And if I feel that I can communicate with them anytime, I'll just do it respectively. It doesn't really matter. So my ancestors, the only things that they ask of me to do was that if I'm talking to them, I have to wear the color. Let me show it to you. This is the dress. That is what my ancestors will want me to wear when I'm communicating with them. And for the Mandawo spirit as well, they want me to wear their cloth. For the Abalozi, they want me to wear their beads, the red and white beads. These green and white beads are for my ancestors. For the Mandawo, it's just their cloth. That's all they ask of me to do when I'm communicating with them, when I'm calling them out to come to me. So, how do we know what we're supposed to be doing with this? So when I first started, guys, like I said, at home, they used to do it, they still do it, within two, like the tobacco that they use, the traditional one that we use, and the traditional beer. So when I came to UK, I brought some nzu with me. But when I was trying to communicate with my ancestors, they asked me if, the first question they did ask me was that, who asked you to use nzu? So you see, so most of the time our ancestors will tell us what they want us to do, what they want us to use for umsamo. So they will show it to you in the dreams if they want you to use something, or they will tell you if they're talking to you. They will tell you what they prefer. But mine, they do not prefer candles, they do not prefer water, they do not prefer incenses. The only thing that they ask of me is to wear their cloth and their beads. That is the only thing they ask of me, nothing else. And for my umsam as well, I just put, let me just show you guys so you have an idea. So this is my practice room, right? This is it. This is it. So I just decorate it with the things that I collect and I like. Everything, those are the candles there. I just do that there. So this is my room, you see? So there is actually nothing that my people want from me apart from to be in a good state of mind to talk to them. That's the only thing they ask of me. Nothing else. That is for my umsam, right? So if I'm going somewhere else, if I'm gonna be in a different place, and that all I just have to do is make sure that I let them know that I'm going to be somewhere and I'm gonna be staying there for a long time. So I prefer they come with me to be there with me. And I have to do the rituals that they ask me to do, like the water ritual. If you've seen my video on how to communicate with ancestors, I've put it there. So that's the only thing they ask of me. So if someone comes to me now, let's say someone comes to me for the first time and they're asking me, what can we use? I always say to people that you need to let your ancestors guide you on what they prefer you to use for your umsamo. Do you understand? So you use whatever it is that you can use. If you're using candle for your place, you use your candle. Whatever you do it, just make sure that it is something that, you know, if you make it a ritual, like, you know that I'll put everything in that particular area, that will be for the place where I communicate with my ancestors. You know, when you get there, that is you. You're going to zone out. You're going to zone out or zone in to communicate with them. Do you understand? So that is what I'll advise anyone. So anyway, let me answer this question properly. Is there something you must do at your home to make sure that they can actually hear you? So ancestors can hear you whether you communicate with them anywhere in the house. Anywhere in the house. As long as whatever you do, we do it with good intentions and with a good heart. So it really doesn't matter. Like for me, I use this room to communicate with them when I have clients. I'll bring them in this room and I'll communicate with them there. But if I'm on my own, I don't need to be coming here. I can come here just because I want to come in here to communicate with them, because that is the preferred place that I'll prefer and to talk to them all the time. So I know when I go in there, I do light the candles just for my own, to satisfy my own, you know, just to feel like there is a different atmosphere anyway for me, not because they've asked me to do that. So if I'm doing it in the bedroom as well, I'll communicate with them in the bedroom. Where I'm sleeping, it really doesn't matter. If I'm sitting in the lounge, I'm sitting on the sofa, I'll communicate with them there. But there are different places, there are different things that our ancestors ask us. So if it is a family umsamo, like family shrine where everyone can come, sometimes your ancestors will tell you that they prefer everyone else, like if it's your grandmother or your grandfather, they prefer all their children and all their grandchildren to come and communicate with them in a particular space in the family, in the house, in the yard, or whatever, outside or inside. They'll prefer it to be at this particular spot because that is what they prefer. Do you understand? So all these things, guys, it really depends on you and how you communicate with your ancestors and how you feel about the space that you want to create for you and your own ancestors, so you can communicate freely with them, you know? So that is just that. And Marcos, well.